Okay. Okay, basically, please be reminded 20th of August, 7 p.m. is your test. So please come slightly earlier, about 6:45. Okay. Because yeah, no doubt. There were three students who were not present and we had retest. But as far as possible, please avail for the test. Okay. This test will be 25%. Okay. Okay, so the format of the test this time round, there's a section 3 or section C for long questions. Okay, the two long questions, okay, and that accounts for about 50 marks. Okay, six short questions for section B. Okay, I'm going to go through which are the ones that will come out so that you can maximize your score. Okay, and then of course section A is a MCQ. There are 10 MCQ questions, each 2 marks. Okay, so this test will cover from topic 4 to topic 7. So as spoken last week, 7.4, 7.5 is not in the test. Okay, so you study up to 7.3. Okay, so in between, it's resource management, cost management, risk management, and quality management. Okay, so for topic 4, it's talking about the project teams, resource planning, allocation, managing workforce, productivity, equipment, and material logistics. Okay, so this topic, I will highlight what are important. Okay, this is last year's slides. Okay, so the questions are different. Okay, slightly different now. Okay, project team, you just need to know, and yeah, you just need to know lah. Okay, but you don't have to know in very great detail lah. Okay, the one that you need to know in great detail, I will specifically highlight. Okay, like for instance, this type of indicator like MCQ means that, well, you need to know, that means in general, it might come out from the MCQ. Okay, like the three M's, manpower, material, machineries. Okay, and allocation of manpower, input for manpower resource needs estimation. Okay, work hour, activity duration, activity sequence, and schedule, the expertise required. Okay, and then we have this one here is important. Okay, so this one you have to take note and you have to study in detail. Okay, you need to know labor efficiency. Definition of labor efficiency, it refers to how effectively workers perform tasks within a given time. Okay, and what low efficiency can cause and the factor affecting the labor efficiency. Okay, for instance, here, inadequate skill or training, poor site layout, resource accessibility, frequent rework due to unclear instruction or quality issue, fatigue from poor scheduling or extended shift, low morale or communication breakdown. Okay, so this one you have to know in detail. Okay, and then this one is what we already covered about the just in time, the long lead time. So if some of the material need to be pre-ordered in advance due to the long lead time, you must do it and you must coordinate it. Okay, and we also look at the problem of having uh, delivery on site, which is too early if you don't have the uh, place to store it. Okay, so some of the equipment can be damaged. Okay, after long periods of improper storage at site. Okay. Okay, then topic 5, we have the project cost management. Okay, the slide on the cost estimation technique is important. Okay, later I will flip it and I will show to you. Okay. Okay, budgeting, cost baseline, cash flow planning, estimation, cost control, earned value management. Earned value management, we already test you in class test 1 now. Okay, so you don't have to bother too much about it. Okay. So the details you don't have to memorize. Okay. Okay, so what they indicate in MCQ are what will come out for MCQ. Okay, but MCQ normally you just need to read the notes and have some basic understanding. You should be able to answer correctly. Okay. Okay, so this part here, we talk about remember we talk about the cost baseline and the budget. So the only difference is that the cost baseline only consists of direct costs, indirect costs, and contingency costs. So only when you add in the management reserve, then is the budget. Okay. This type also no need to worry because we test you in the class test one already. So it will not come out again. Okay. This work breakdown structure is important for your real work as a project manager, okay, but probably, or rather, I can safely say class test two details like this won't come out anymore. Okay, okay, so this one you just need to know, uh, you just need to know briefly, okay. Okay, then this one is what I mentioned about the cost baseline and the budget, the difference. Okay, the total budget is only calculated after you have done the cost baseline and then you add in the management reserve. Okay. Okay, this cash flow planning just need to know in passing. Okay, cost control. So this one we already done it in the class test one. This is talking about the SV, EV, okay, AC. Okay, okay. This topic risk you have to study in detail. Okay, almost every part will come out. Okay, risk identification, classification, risk assessment technique, risk response and mitigation strategy, risk monitoring and control. Okay. So I be honest, this one will be one of your long questions. Okay. I just give you the slides where you need to pay more attention to. Okay. Okay. So this one common technique for risk identification. Okay, this one is important. This one on the risk register, we'll have to memorize this part. We have to be able to recreate a risk register when they ask you. Okay. So there will be a description, category, potential cost, possible impact, risk owner. Okay. So this is a perfect example. Okay. Delay in the M&E shop drawing, categories internal, what's the cost, what's the impact, what's the owner. Okay. Who should take ownership of this item? Okay. Okay. So this one will come up for one of the short questions. Okay. Okay. Risk classification, internal risk. Okay, this slide is very important. The different methods of the risk assessment. Okay, you have to know this in detail. Okay. Okay, risk response, mitigation strategies. This one also important. This slide here, where you talk about the avoidance, mitigation, transfer, and acceptance, the definition, and then one example. Okay. Okay, finally, quality. Okay, so this one I think I mentioned before that for quality, this is the basic thing you need to know about quality. Okay. And then these few slides are important. Okay. The long question will be on this one. Okay. Quality planning, quality assurance, quality control. You have to know in detail what are the key activities. What name an example in practice. Okay. Quality assurance, the same thing, the key activities involved, tools and techniques, example in practice. Okay. Quality control, the same thing. Definition, key activity, and one of the example in the practice. Okay. And then this table here, you also have to know in detail. Okay. Okay, as mentioned, ISO 9001, ISO 14501, you just need to know the main clauses and the sub clauses. Okay, you don't have to know in detail. Okay. Okay, so I think I've probably given you enough questions. Okay, for you to study. Okay. I believe that even with all this study focus, it's still a lot to study, in my opinion. Okay, I think I will share with you the results for class test one. Okay, in case those of you who didn't come last week, I remember I shared last week, but I'm going to share it again. Okay, so reminder, 20th of August, next Thursday is your class test. Okay. And before I forget the assignment, we will not be doing the presentation, okay, owing to the time. Okay. You just need to submit the assignment, the report with the cover page with your team members, okay, to me. That will be good enough for me. Okay, I think tonight's class is CA one. Okay. I think the other time I already showed CA one and FMA, I think. Okay, CA one. Okay, so I'll just leave um the session open in case you have any questions. Okay, until 8:30. So in the meantime, you can do your assignment. Okay, okay, then I'll be back later.